Uh, we will begin our class reciting uh, prayers of refuge, generating bodhicitta, and mandala offering. First, we will chant in Tibetan, each verse two times. We repeat two times, and afterward, we'll sing English one time. Yeah, and it is on page number 10. Lama la yav zon che wo Sanje la yav zon che wo Che la yav zon che wo Gen la yav zon che wo Sanje che dang so je chonam la chanjo bardo dane yazo je dagi jen so je ve so nam je dolan penje san Shoya sanje jedam soje chonam la chanjo bando dane gyabzo je dagi jenso jeve sonam je Rola Monster Sangye Drombar Shoya Sem Jen Nam Jen Dewa Dan Deve Yudan Dambar Joji Sem Jen Dan Jen Dunga Dan Dunga Je Dan Dawar Joji Sem Jen Dan Je Dunga Bebe Dewa Dan Dawar Joji Sem Jen Dan Je Nirang Chadai Nidan Rave Tanyam Lani Varajoji Simje Tamje Dewa Dan Devi Ajudan Dambar Joji Simje Tamje Dunga Dan Dunga Jejudan Dawar Joji Simje Tamje Dunga Bebe Dewa Mendawar Joji Simje Tamje Niran Chadan Nidan Dave Tanyam La Devara Joro Saje Buje Joshan Dhamma Vera Lenje Nyede Jambande Sanje Shando Mede Bovaye Dogo Namda Shenla Jovara Sho Yedam Guru Namenda Kameyadayame. In English, on page number 11, I take refuge in the Guru, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. From now until my enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. May I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and causes. May all sentient beings May all sentient beings never be separated from joyful bliss. May all sentient beings divine equanimity, pure bias, attachment, and anger. This ground, unbounded with perfume, strewn with flowers, Mount Meru, encircled by the whole continent, surmounted by the sun and the moon, I visualize this Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy the pure land. Idam Guru Rana Menda Kame Yadaya. Um, Foundations prayer in English, I think we said before Tibet. Foundations on page number 15.
The foundation of all good qualities is the
Kind and venerable Guru, correctly devoting to him is the root of life. By clearly seeing this and by great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that precious freedom of this river is found only once, is really meaningful and difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble, remembering how quickly it decays and death comes. After death,
the effects of black and white karma precede us
as a shadow follows us on. Finding firm and definite convictions in this, please bless me
always to be careful, to abandon
even the slightest negativities, and to accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking the pleasures of samsara leads to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate the strong wish, the blessing, the liberation. Led by the pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential. Having seen that all beings, my kind mothers, have fallen like myself in the ocean of samsara,
may
I
I train
train
in supreme bodhicitta
and bear the responsibility
of freeing all migratory beings. If I develop bodhicitta without practicing the three types of morality,
morality.
I
I
will
will
not
not
achieve
achieve
enlightenment.
enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this,
Please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. By pacifying distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzing the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the path uniting calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the Madhurana, the highest of vehicles. The basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and commitments. Having become firmly convinced of this, Please bless me to protect these vows and pledges with my life. Having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. May the gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, may I never separated from the perfect gurus and magnificent Dharma. By completing qualities of the sages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajrayana.
참아가 되시죠.
Um, Tashidelik to all of you.
식당랑도 미겨wallen side 미겨wal tantal 밀리치겨 린델라 테네니 샤워 zambo치 린데 페치 요코땅 토이나 온델라 테네니 샤워 요코드 토 세다 땅 세시마 네 아타기 데완 토하게 되게 니와츠 린디 땅만 되지 또 정민겐지 지고르 이나 리델라 페치 땅만 토지 때 그런 다트 좀네 다 텔라지 샵키도시다 린데기 요코기니 그런 데사 통화 코에 때는 짱짱 그친 진짜 진짜 좋은 거고요. 그래서 그 강조를 리드 아주 파 점고 파리다 샴종전 리드 여러 번 네코 그런 설치고 들리 파 네트워크 좋은 거들 리드 카트로 이나양 아주 샘세드 디동만 봐 탐지다 같이 컴퓨터나 야 샘에 빠지는 컴퓨터도 다른 지사 랩탑 걸려서 그때다 샘세드 디지털 세블 샘드 간다지 받아 모두 지고 그러세요.
Earlier I said Tashidelik is kind of a greeting in Tibetan, just like saying good morning. Um, so the so this Kishila just pointed two importance the note here. One is this: we have to we have to understand and recognize that we all achieve the very precious human life, or born as a human being, and um, and then we should take that advantage, having this precious human life, and using this body, the very body we have, and to cultivate the virtues and merit as much as we can in this life, in order to us to attain the ultimate happiness. So this is the one point. Otherwise, if we think merely this body as just using for eat, drink, sleep, and having a nice clothes, and and by the cause of the self grasping and the self grasping, and that body is also has a limit, and eventually it will show the impermanence, or one day we will depart from that very precious body. So that's why it is very important to recognize and understand that we have this precious body, and using this body, try our best to cultivate virtues and merit, to us to attain the ultimate happiness. So this is one point, and the second is the plus we have a mind. Not only the body, but we all have a mind, And the mind doesn't have a limit. Where the body has a limit, there's a limit that we cannot go beyond. And the mind can go, endlessly, and through the cultivations of the knowledge, wisdoms, practice, and hard worship, and so forth, we can able to transform ourselves, and eventually we can attend the highest stage of the mind, called the Buddhahood, or the enlightenment. So this is the second point.
어때 저도 샘세들라 참으로 샘 그런 그런진 서리카 차지 동비행 서리카 차지です 아니 이나 서리카 차텔라 내가 저나 다 녀모이 좋아서 샘 그런데 망부지 접지네 내가 뒤트와라 되네 내가 코르와서야 돼 등이 기랑지 이니 망부지 될라 다 나는 거 버려는 논인 좋아는 저저저 뒤 아니 초영도 말이 그런 거 되는 거자 다 샘기랑진데 간다지 전에 샘기랑진데 마트버데 파트쇼페네 지 자위 녀몽당 언니기와당 먹기와서 티 차버디 오시트바이나 뭐는 소소게 닐링오마데 받자야라 차버리 용고서 당아도 소 샘샘 송지 등 오트지고 따따 때랑 녀모 자위 녀모 트릭스야 때 오트지르샤스티
And the speaking of the mind, the mind itself, it is the nature of the clear the capacity of the mind, the of the space, or the capacity of the mind, and from that very the vast the mind of clearness, as the clearness, we create the all kinds of things and event by the afflictive emotions, or destructive emotions, and because of that, and we experience projections, like image, like taking photo, and we could experience all kinds of the things and event in our life or in our mind, and that's the one reasons that we keep the trap, or the trap in the existence. And so therefore, once that's the reasons we have been studying the mind and the mental factors, 51 mental factors, and which the interestingly describe and explain each of the mind, the positive mind as well as the negative mind, such as earlier we have studied virtuous mind, and also non-virtuous mind. So today we are come on the page, on the second page, 335, page 335, six basic emotions.
인도지 너무 신부가 아마같이 우리한테 심마간으로 샘라지죠. 때 돈도 가르치는 엄마 그런 거. 저 엄마 가르치요. 단다 리는 때는 딜라 무슨 소파지 아니 자진 넘보 소소 아니 제가 뭐 저런하고 근데 용도 경험만 그 소는 소피 리긴데고 같은 종아래. 심마 과로를 좀 단다 좀 샘라지 좀 샘나. 그 샘상 보고 쇼트 판도지 같이 위에서라 듣고요나 기와시마 저런 기와이 보질린 그래서 아니 리차장장 진이 소초 받아 마신 분들 메라 리창도 지기요나 기와 저런 기와시마 기와 듣잘린 그래 대자 단다 가르치는 그런 셈나까지 지지 그래서 그때 도동청하고 후레바이나 논인조로 진짜 논인조네 그런 논인조서 담보배 논인조서 사자 야보 이게 또 그래서 소바 장장조에나 그런 게 or them the thing tem so you don't want to thing Dara kyung pargyal su dikcha kyang pargyal na tamo dansa tili pargyal ya to dikcha tong shanggu tino li sakse de tili chigi linga tili chiyong su li tili namin tipi penshong wala zhano zi tili bakshak ki top ki ni kiwa shima tili ma tili nang gulay penchon do china tili zirisi.
Um, so, and Tsongkhapa the stated that the um, we one could distinguish or able to recognize that very the life we had and the life we're going to have in the future. Tsongkhapa said, "What kind of life you had in previous life? Look right now. If, for example, because of the very cause of the previous life, what karma we accumulate, so we can clearly see right now. If we experience goodness and having a good the body and so on and so forth, and the fortune life, that means this is all because of the cause by the karma that we have created in previous life. But also, Tsongkhapa said that what kind of life you want to have, then you should ask yourself, or you should watch your mind. Meaning, presently, this life, what kind of minds we are cultivating, or what kind of minds we are having, it will determine our next life. For example, if we cultivate the goodness, positive virtues, then of course we will experience this. We will experience happiness and joy not only this life and also next life. And next life we will have more fortunes by caused by this life where if we cultivate the non-virtues, engaging negativities, actions, and so forth, such as killing, stealing, and so forth, then of course the consequences will be very negative this life as well as next life. So that's why Tsongkhapa said, what kind of we were, look at what present life and what you want to be, and watch and ask your mind. So I think for me, it's like the life is like the movie. Like if the movie was made very based on or the motivated by the good intentions and the finding the beautiful place and made this movie for very intentions for the bring about good awareness or positive awareness, then of course when the movie is being projected, and of course whoever watching will have a good experience. Where if this movie made based on violent and negativities and so forth, then of course when we watch this movie, we will also have that kind of a mind, violence and negativities, intentions. So our life is like it's like a cause and effect or karma, and whatever the karma we accumulated, and it will determines our next life, like a movie.
Tachada ni tiki li sangba di tangbo samlo tangde semgu samlo tang tang zika wangla tela tini linga pis shopala tini tini tripe ongorsi.
The karma the accumulated or karma being created by the body and the mind, and eventually we will experience those the experience what we made.
다들 멋진 거죠. 다 자유 용무 특세야 돼. 자유 용무 특은 도착 공조 말길 말이봐 다와 티즘 특들이지.
And six basic emotions. First, desire. uh, Second, anger. Third, pride. Fourth, ignorance. Fifth, doubt. And sixth is the opinionatiness. Okay.
어디 다 당보든 도착 써야 돼. 도착 써야 돼. 적당하네. 샘 써야 돼. 그런 적당 삼로 같은 건데 공부로 더 강하고 당보 공부로 더 샘송 써야 돼. 디콜. 그 콜드 기르 콜드 기가 뭐 망조 지당 내가 간저 또 같더니 데 조도 원게로 됐다네. 조그 그런 샘송 도착 원도 샘 도착 원도 송난 도착 써야 돼. 가서 당보 일찍라 뭐가 생각 뭐 용어서 뒤 차로 차정 집에 양보로 분수 초바지 통네 이했던 거지 통 이했던 거 통은 이거 이또 통하자 마스 다 숨들라 배시 반 쇼송네 따뜻 말라 고도 세 말 톱나 삼베 다 토고도 좀 샘들라 같이나 샘나한테 제마 더하지 내된 거 제가 놓쳤어 버스라 tellatene dochka chichum phashu telladok zum zmega mugilro kyongso tellatene ne bijambe parchina thado kiala sobata tellatene dingul jong thado so tellatene shedang mangboz zhyong gors do chalate
The so the when we the study mind and the mental factors, and of course, if I give an example, the mind is like a king, is like a king, and the mental is like a surrounding of the king mind. So there's a main mind or the king mind, and there's a sub mind, or the mind that's surrounding mind. And the once our the mental the factors or subminds being afflicted, then eventually it will affect our king mind or our main mind. For example, the first the mental factor of the six emotions is the desire. Uh, desire or the attachments, once we are being controlled by the desire or the attachments, and so whatever we see and experience, and we have a great tendency, have a great desire to wish to have this in our life. For example, once our very mind is being dominated by the attachments or the desire, by seeing or by experiencing, by contacting from the very attractive object, and then the second wish is the may I have. We have a very great interest and great wish that may I have in this in my life. And and then not only that, sometimes it's very hard to forget, and to avoid that very attractive object. And so this is how it functions. It happens, and not only that, the sometimes we have a sense of ownness, sense of ownness toward the that objects, that attractive objects. And when we have that kind of strong desire and attachments and have an ownness toward that object, then we will have all kinds of the experience of the mind, such as jealousy, anger, and hatred, and so forth. Uh, for example, when someone use it and touch it and so on and so forth. So that's the anger and the jealousy will rise.
된서도 노적세도 스티워세도 다빠세도 저도 높아요. 쇼도 지발되나. 사업을 스티워도 노적이 된 로요 되는 군인자가 말이지.
도착 세워치 대봐라.
저도 리로 쇼도 지파 로도 요르스.
Um, so often we confuse and very there's a similarity of the attachments, love, and faith. So these the mind are very similar, but reality they aren't.
네. 다빠세야 돼. 일치 공시 요아 요바데 일치와 좀 일치위 전에 내가 특히나 미ski 연든 침보스 연든 콜라 연든 요아 다 하고 연든 되게 자지 좀 분석과 돈 하고 네 연든 때에서 니 장고군데 삼동 삼로실라 아니 넘버도 다빠세다 이치 다빠세다 땅 다빠세 대가 된듯이지 파쇼라 그 배등이 파쇼도 라는 톤이 좀 되는지 말이 파쇼도 되게 당부 유비 일치와 때라 아니 그런 당wan론데 어떤 내 지구군들 나한테 토고 온듯이 어떤지 그랬어 이게 참 그랬어
이체발라요.
소 일치와라 때니때다 돈 되는 거라 파쇼 파쇼 소바도 당신지 말라 톰나 나랑 맞춰지겠어야 돼
Uh, if I make for example, each of the mind of the attachments, love, and the faith. For example, the faith usually driven the by the belief toward the objects, and the and that very belief is or the faith arise by understanding or discovering that that object or the persons have a great knowledge and a great valuable resources and knowledge, and a wishful have a wishful that may I have that kind of knowledge and sources in my life, and in order to have that, and the I will do my best to achieve that knowledge from that object or from that persons. So that's why this is what we call the faith. So any faith could be arise, pure faith, longing faith, and the convinced faith. So any faith could be arise by discovering uh, the things and event, its knowledge and its resource.
냥지 세트 가진 냥지 세트 인지미 초라이 그 삼든지라고 그래 삼든지라 그 냥지 그때 답이나 말이 밤 시어 강한 지거나 들리 강한 들리 전에 들이 혹시 용토나 그런 거 내당도 지당 한 강아지 등을 지고나 등을 들리 세나 삼이 등을 쓰는 셀 사와치기 세트 로고시 삼이 삼송식도 어떨래 냥지 세고 때 소소 롱당 대화도 유명을 마티 진 파쇼고 등을 정라 뭐봐 전지 등을 더 등을 들리 잔나 삼이 삼로치라 냥지 제시
And the second is the compassions, the compassions or the love, and so love or the compassions usually arise the arise or the caused by the caused by caused by the beings caused by the sentient beings, and have a full have a strong wish that may they be free from the suffering and the causes of suffering, and not only just bias kind of compassions or love, but rather deciding it's benefit me or it's related or they are related they are my relative or not, despite all like I have a strong wish and desire that may all sentient beings free from suffering. So that's the called the compassions or the pure love.
노착 먹발라 노착 먹발라 이쯤이 미다 방송동 오던 잘 정말 요르지.
The but attachments or the desire doesn't have to be the a person's. It could be an object. Earlier when I said sentient beings, it has to be the referring to the who have a consciousness, who have a mind, who have a consciousness, and compassions usually compassions love usually have the arise the or have toward the object that has a consciousness or the mind, but the desire and attachment doesn't have. That we have a desire attachments, even non consciousness or the non mind, such as objects.
답변은 소소라 가사가 또 모다 사원다스요나 다 모다들 냥지 쓰고 말 모다 등이요 말고 돌아요 말고 이는 때라니 착바 수수 착바 등이 이제 당보 비 총관나 요소 대화 맞게 것 같아 무슨 저 돌아요 말 모다 야군도 사지 이와 때라 모다도 야군도 땅하고 근데 이제 다때 삼모 코라지 때 지마데 결혼 받고 지네 때우 전에 요 차송네 내무기 결라가zon데 결혼 그때 때랑니 좀 결혼을 다지네 그래서 좀 놓쳤고 들라좀 찾다 등이 땅하이 완전 비속은 그 점용으로 때려 때네 미점박을 놓고 창마 남성 홈마피 총공만 저 잘못됐다 다 결혼 놓고 되면 찾는 결혼 인들이 이사 거잖니 이건 가까이 오래 또 뭐라 지르다 사실 놓고 남성 미직 놓고 창는데 저 sem나가 맞죠 차도 온 거. 남성 차도 온 거. 차도 정도 차도지 능력 정도 전에 공부를 한 거. 공부 동안 안에 이건 그 저라도 봤잖아. 그런 좀 너무 기던 거를 말로 들으지. 좀 말이 빠간 거 잡아 잡는 거다. 자동 세당 되게 방 지들 용당로 들으지.
And for example, the attachment and desires could be we have that kind of desire. We will have a attachment desire to anything. For example, car. Let's say car. Uh, we wouldn't say that you know. You know, we wouldn't have a saying like have mercy toward the car, right? Or have compassion toward the car, and because it doesn't have a consciousness, doesn't have a mind, but
Right.
but doesn't have any feeling. The car doesn't have any feeling, but we do have a strong desire and attachments, and toward the car, and um, for example, the when we visit at the store, and we see the very beautiful, shiny, attractive car, and then naturally we have a tendency that may I have I need it, I want it, or may I have that car, and then second. our very task will be we will do everything, put all our efforts and try to get that car and pay money and do all things what we can do in order to have this car. So once we paid and get the key, and then now we have a mind that, oh, now this car is mine, it's belong to me. And so the whoever touched this car and use this car, then we have the either anger or jealousy. And basically this all the mental factors, non-virtuous mental factors, are caused by the afflicted mind, and but anyway, but thing is the it is very interesting when we look how this all the emotions arise and being created from the very beginning till until we have this car. And for example, when this same car, when the car is in the shop, and that car same cars once I own it, same car, but we have a different feelings. At the beginning, when the car is the in the shop, we doesn't have any feeling. Of course, we have a desire to have it, but if someone touch it or break it, whatever happened, we doesn't care. But as soon as we own this car, then we have a strong, attachments and strong feeling toward the car, and whoever touch and use it, we have a jealousy, hatred, and then eventually we have a lot of suffering.
그래서 노착세 소 당라면 그아 아이 아등 아이 와서 등아 띠자네 노착들라 네 촉시 때 맞는 콜라 살매 와 같이 나오다 디고 디고 저다 빈촌나 든지 뭐 배랑으로 미 금방에 줘도 띠 금방에 요 말고 금방에 저 그런 거다 작반로 저일 목반로 요하는 자세데 아nga kamba yo na ta nga mi chama ka san ro ta nga do to ro ti kamba yo ta jamba nga che go samari ku chora ti ro ta teli jamba chila ko kamba je do da mi zo sekla shon do ju to ko tela heb long de do chi chin de nga seka chi chona te yong do ga ta ku ta do sa le ku tsam sam go so ta mi kyo ti kyo seka shon ga ti 아 seka shon zo na charwa ta ni mar mo ka nda ta nga moda chi ta go ndu se ne modal jo ya go so moda kon rongati kita ta moda ta yorte na tang tande mat ne kali jane yang ni chin nam tsu yo go ndu sam ta nam tsu yong ke la kor kor yang te doba tsu yo ma ta da te go ma go yors ten sa ta doba chome wa te doba choma shi na ma shi te li to te la ba tsu ji ton te nye go te la te ta ling ri sam go zo a ji go nga su jang go ka zo jor ta absu ma dia jene ne mi chama samlu chi pa mar 내돈 집어말 미카실라 랑스게 니와 요 미카시 니와 맹게 조 니와 용건도 지교 지기스나 다 특고요 말 마트나들이 링을 먹보다 다 타도다들이 강한 짓드나 용다 먹보지 용거지
um, the yeah, so let's talk more about the attachments, and um, again, the attachments, we will have attachments or the desire toward anything, and that attachment usually the arise by concerning or relating toward me or mine. And but the if we being contained and satisfy what we have and what we own and what we achieve, is fine. But the problem is we never satisfy, always discontent and wanting more and more, and then we always experience all kinds of problem. I think everybody knows that this one of the example. uh, there was a person's, it was beautifully made, and there was a person's the um, the limped persons, right? You call limp, right? Limped, uh,
No leg
no leg,
is limp.
limp persons,
Lane.
lame person, yeah, lame persons. So there was a lame persons, and his only wish was the may I have a both leg. And because whenever he see people who's running and walking with two leg, and his only wish is that may I have this two leg. The person who has a two leg and perfectly can run and walk is not satisfied what he had. He wished that may I have a bicycle so I can go faster, do some fun. But person who has a bicycle and wishing, oh, having bicycle is not fun. When it's rain, I cannot do anything. I wish I have a car. And the person who owned the car not satisfied. I wish I have a helicopter. I have a plane, so I can go anywhere I want. And so on. Person who own this helicopter or plane, they have a more wish to have in their life. And uh, so anyway, and the when you look this whole the situations, the every individuals the, the have a different capacity and a different the way of achieving their life and different capacity and their interests and everything are different and whatever I have doesn't mean you will have this, and whatever you have doesn't mean I will have it. And we all compute each others, and maybe that person's because of his and her capacity and the ability. He or she might have a better life and better achievements, and then me myself, I want to have this. But as I mentioned, everyone is different, different capacity and different ability and so forth. We may not able to achieve, and if you contain what we have, if you just satisfy what I have, it's okay. But we're not satisfied. We compete others and wanting to have that same as what he or she have, and then we suffer.
어떤 저당 알아서 어쨌든 대기 뭐마데 샘능다 시디지 시와 지실 시와 노착세데 nga 요거 좀 코가리나 nga 코 배추 요르송이 배추당 사송도 대파 이당 들이 정말 시와세데 같이나 지금 수준 정보의 날이 자정한 날에 같이고 참말 되는 용나 냠스 용나 냠대 용 지득 냠용세 지지네네 농주 참모 진의 소소가 탑조 와서 건강 중앙도 다다로 진의 초시여진 어찌 같으면 요거 소네 안가 당보도 샘돌로지 샘시디 용하다 냠 리디오 요하다 스포 당당 요하대 데키 자와 데레시
So anyway, the most the very the happiness or the peaceful life it will be having the healthy life, such as physically is healthy and mentally is subdued and calm and healthy. I think this is the I think most expensive happiness that we could gain. Um, Otherwise, having plus have a genuine love. Once we have a genuine love and the peaceful mind, then we will have a happy life. Otherwise, if we have strong attachments and desire, and which it often confuse individuals and mistakenly we kind of ended difficult situations. And for example, due to the strong attachments and desire, we will keep this object or person as long as it's satisfying me, as long as it is useful to me. Once it's being satisfied and being used, then no longer I need it. I just ignore it, or I just maybe throw it out. So they, but the genuine love or the compassions, which is very important, and having a genuine love and compassions, and plus have a peaceful mind or peaceful life, and then wherever we are, we can always experience the happy, meaningful life. And for example, wherever we are, we try our best based on my capacity and my ability, and try to achieve what I can, and live happily with one another, and by having the genuine love and compassions. And then in a way we can live happily and harmoniously, and so that's I think is important. One of the most happiness is the having a healthy body and a healthy mind.
또 적당히 미걸 지금 초시된 거는 미족하시 어때? 세 초시된 것은 넘바데 열기면 선물을 듣는 세고 말 초시세. 수도 저도 비 전바에 나가도 엄마 안에 보모지 그 좀지 잡아요. 좀 보모도 짓던 남은 그렇지 뭐지. 몰라베 그렇지 뭐지. 이치 뭐지. 남들다 차성 용도 된지지. 타마데 못해. 나 사실 그만큼만 나오네. 만큼 나오는데 만큼은 좀 염주지 거. 좀 뒤나나. 때 라토는 등이 통송 좀 뒤나 갈수보다 뭐 아니 뭐라 둘로 배 공침부터 좀 관요 지는 따다다가 군트하게 군 조금만 되지 고야 니와면 되지 아니 나라 클래스 아집에 차정 요시티 사요 말을 생각을 만큼 됐어야 때마다 요 말을 아니 나라 남짓다 뭐라 차정 요시 나 남짓다 뭐라 차정 당특별 말은 하던데 방금 콜로티 강으로 되어지 어떻지 일단 뭐 능은 뜻이에요 일단 다 벤줄 요르더니 칼리기안에 반주 석주티 땅이 농수도 듣고요 말이지 뜻사당 리 자침부터 리드 탕탕 요거 자침 모용과 뜻도 같이 뭐띠 딱딱 버리지 뭐 농수 무슨 소파까지 맞춰지네 전화 띠 대기도 듣고요 뭐 서우도 그때 요르지
So the speaking of containments, sometimes they are misconceptions uh, toward the people who they practice and talk about the containments, and they said. Buddhists often talk about the containment. I think this is the laziness, just contain what you have and not doing anything else, and use your what you have, and this is like a laziness, and it is the having that kind of containment. It is it is a door to falling one's life, one's their life, or the losing their life, or losing their wealth and everything. That's not good. So some people have that kind of misconceptions. um, the but I think, let me give you an example. I mentioned before. Let me share you one the story. I think story is based on true event, or it happened, and that article is on the internet, and so there was a rich girl, and who is a writer and who composed a beautiful article or the book, and in her book, or she mentioned that of course she's very rich, and she said I have a very expensive clothes in my house, but I cannot use them all, and I also have a very very the expensive or the good food, but all I eat is what is being provided from the hospital. And I also have a plan and a car, but none of them are useful. All I sit and do is I just sitting on uh, the what do you, cart, right? Cart, yeah. I'm sitting on the cart and being uh,
웨이치르 말 웨이치르
a wheelchair. That's good. Yeah. Thank you. Wheelchair. I'm always on the wheelchair, and so none of those are very useful. And and so this kind of story is shows that having just a healthy body and a healthy mind, it is the most or richest happiness we could have.
뭐디 비추당 맞다
Be-
데이터 즈부 통통하죠.
because
그때는 즈부 통통 거 같아.
because
Thinking
when you
sounds
look at
like
her story, because of her health, because of her health and physical health, that's why she cannot use this all the material she cannot use it, and because of the health.
야, 근데 진짜 딱 조금 더 약했어. 조금 더 형지고 많이 있어. 형지고는 숨지 담지 등에 통당 시지. 내가 통당 시지. 사마지 소소랑 있는 거 삼대.
Okay, let's meditate for a few minutes. And today we will meditate on compassions. And when we meditate on compassions, we have a wish that may sentient beings free from suffering and the causes of suffering.
등은 방법 소소랑 일라야 등은 방법 리기 등 섬 등은 방법 요래. 실교를 교 등을 톰보 등을 성발로 등은 만들어 먹어 요래서 등은 방법 요아 등은 만들어 그래서 이나 또 탐진을 되나 삼이 삼로데 양지 또 검진에 근데 전에 대화 동다나 삼에 샴바 대 강원 잡은 거지.
The suffering, when we thinking of suffering and the wishing that may all sentient beings free from suffering. So there are different kinds of suffering. The suffering that being experienced by the poor people, and the suffering that experienced by the rich people. So there are all kinds of suffering, and we can visualize that may all sentient beings, no matter what kind of suffering, and may they be free from these conditions, these situations, and so this is we call the compassions, or we could say like may they always experience the happy or joyfulness. So that is we call the practice of joy.
나 아주 양지고나 그zul라 반도 연구를 때 지리지리스 더 연구를 있는 알아도 양지고나 알아도 양지 교회 연락해나 아주 미팅 니와 친구 사러워시 같이 가르치고 난 니진 장도 아니 나로와 메바 레로 메바 아니 지금 니진 터진 셔터 버리지
Um, and sometime out of curiosity, we might think, what is the useful, thinking sentient beings wishing free from suffering and cause of suffering. Just wishing or meditating and sentient beings, wishing them alone is not gonna help them. Uh, so it is the it could be helpful, it could not, we cannot say. But one thing is sure that cultivating compassions, genuine or highest compassions within mind stream, and it is sure that we could generate a great strength within our mind, and and that very strength, the power of compassions, and we when we serve others, when we do something for others, we don't feel any tired, feel tired or think it as a burden.
나 리피트 시스템은 저런 소소롱이 양지와 니와진당 로 참제 소소롱이 있는 거 잠진인 로 참진 다음 질라데 양지 잔즈 손 담랑데 양지 잔즈 그 담랑 저 손이나 미참 특주 막 야, 미세 든지 자와니 용 말지 진짜 니와 배침벌이 진짜 다 니와 공부지원 당부 소소롱이 있는 거 잠니 스미스 대화 동다나 스미시네 손님들 되게 파 콘트 또와이나 덕시 당직 비소소를 심당 때 정말 양직 돈이 자기나 당는 특바셔야 돼.定用的 요 말지.
And yes, indeed, that the power of compassion, it is very unique and essential. And logically, we could understand. For example, from starting from yourself or oneself, if you're able to the able to manifest that very compassion toward others, and then eventually we wouldn't see, there will be no war, there will be no adversity, there will be no, you and me and so on and so forth, like fighting and so on and so forth. And let's see, just having that compassion, power of compassion to oneself, have a great benefits. If that kind of compassions generate or they manifest to others and all sentient beings, then there will be no war, only peace. Yeah.
어때서 장고를 지금 남지서 그런가 로아 미기 로 담랑디 미 지켜와래요. 미 따다 미다 동실 젤 야치나 제네 저 되게 난걸 미치그레지. 되다 아니 양지세 되다 미 예다 미팅 겐키네 미 정말 양지 베트나지 그래서 뭐일 당부들 칠킬레나 칠키만나 잡으려면 양지세 정말 오고 요래지. 근데 그래서 양지 때 칠리 만디 양지세 그래서 다들 그 상가 뭐일 당 그래지. 그래서 베트남에 당부 결혼 양지세 했더니 문자 다 봤는데 야도만 근데 바 베트남에 올라지. 가럽다 당하지.
And His Holiness Dalai Lama always, addressed and he always said that I am the one of these 7 billions human being or individuals, and I have a great, obligations or the responsibility, and as a one of the 7 billion human being, and to fulfill others sentient beings, and to promote the non-violence, compassions, and as much as I can. So that's why his homes always make clear that compassion is the very essential. Whether we are believer or non-believer, we all need the compassions, and that's why wherever he visit, he always deliver the message of compassions and loving kindness, which is very important. And so that's why, and he composed the book. You will see the Beyond Religions, or the practice, which is not specifically for the religion, but rather is talk about the compassions.
저 당복 정도도 랑니 대원도 받은 뭔지 전 상황 대원도 봐. 랑니 등만도 받은 전 등만도 봐. 근데 좀손 소라 냠명 그래. 소라 동용 그래. 아니 랑니 등도 받은 전 대원도 봐. 섬데 직발이 섬 동나 아니 샴바리 랑니 등만도 받은 전 등만도 봐. 섬 동안 섬 정도는 양지를 지났대 공부도 leilo yore some not kana
Yeah, and so when we meditate and try to develop those positive minds such as compassion, loving kindness, it is greatly effective, and we can definitely generate by practicing the four immersibles. And for example, you know. For example, the using my oneself to others. For example, I want happiness. Same as sentient beings also have a same wish to want to be happy, and wishing may sentient beings have a happy and life. So that's what we call the love or the joy. And I do not want suffering. And the same have sentient beings have a same wish that they also do not want suffering. And wishing that we all sentient beings free from suffering and cause of suffering because we all have a same wish. So that is we call the compassions.
tena chipa ba yuna tswa tong nga se jen se te tsma chipa so tena nyang ji kom na leilo yong
And also the very importantly generating the or establishing the equanimity, and we all are equal. We equally share the same wish and desire to want to be happy and free from suffering. In that way, we all are same and we all are equal. And once we able to establish that equanimity mind, then we can easily generate compassions and the loving kindness.
oh yeah
We have 10 minutes if you have any questions.
Yeah. So there are positive and negative desires, and so the mental factor that I guess exists usually right before an action is a desire. So I mean that leads directly to karma. So is desire like the most important mental factor?
I couldn't catch the second
It's
piece.
like desire the most important mental factor.
The yapudan duja jilawara yapudan duja ani kecho da ke da mige le da yapu duja le di and then sama the masud da di da sim umchunga chik na la yode wa chik wasit and di da masud doja se di da the kecho buruchi rawasi di mo 용대 유행주라 계속 물어봤어요.
노적세대 네 저당을 노비 감당하는 노비 감당하는 로를 특능이 있다는 거로 감수는 노비 감당하는 노비 노바트 등하고 롱쇼가 제리도 이낭들 철을 봐 초심에 봐지 해줘 땅 마시에나 다 붙살리게나 다 능용사를 이신도 작아요 다 능용사기 진로 용통 능의 용통을 당부배 semchila 파 이동화 통 이동화 롱제되나 좀 강해요 말스 이동화 용서 이동화 롱조한테 네 다트즘으로서 그랬더니 gente partion 거 gente partion 람선테네 다때 성격체 다 차도던 측바트 좀 담불은 강한 가지고 막 얘기하고 또 담불은 막 얘기하는 담불은 치료로요 총로요 말스 이나 니 등하고 사실 상황 니 원지적인 세 차바티 온 거네 사실 단 차바티 온 거지 이 전부 정말 아 지치고 온도제 사고를 certainly 무지 찾아오네 조심해 봐지도 벌고 용소네 정말 트리지네 말아도 지등 말아도 대사가 그게 좀 사적으로 넘는 거로 매어주로 진짜때 조시 때 맡아야나 놓쳤어야 돼 잡침 불세
So if I understand what you said, before I transfer Kishila's what Kishila said, I just want to make sure you said you asking is it desire is important, right?
Well, yeah. Desire usually exists before you may have an action.
Oh,
And so then that directly affects karma. So is desire the most important mental factor?
네, 이 고양이 꼬시키지 팀 봐. 간다 좀 간다 좀 도시아스에지와 디 먼저 가리지 자와 가리지 치원 딩원의 여대와 여대와 도지레스 아니 베나 이 가르지 치와이나 아니 딩원의 여대와 엔딜 치와이나 아니 딜 때는 당한 좀 내다 되는 사이도 된대로 싶어도 왔어요.
그래 진짜 당복으로 높아져야 돼 높아서 높이 감을게 높아 이거를 좀 높아질라 산준지 맡아봐이나 아니 시럽고 조금 매워지네 그 공부 막고나 말이 온도나 천진 맡아봐이나 더니 요달랑 거지 요달랑은 높아 초마시는 편 다단다 막랑아 당지 남랑식들 종아만이 만도 망치와 노적 또기 조심해야지 용어서 당복 먹어야 될 때다 당복 그런 높아지는 지는 거다 그런 가려 있는 농밭이는 거 고내로 바르바지라용 소 드니 델리 찰가니 잠랑 원지 지금 잠못도 그런 거 잠랑 원지 지금 소 드니 잠랑 원지 절 델로요 말데 미 참말로 nga zamba yoza ane maa langwa maa langwa so tene 참말로 내가 저 등을 제 지기들 안 정말 매워서 아니 꼴 지금 니 전부 진 남랑 그 이런 롱알 타고 지긴 세대 남랑 거 이쪽으로 집어라 다 전권 라마다 지네 아니 엄마에는 남랑 코롱코롱 미 코롱 미기 매워서에는 콩콩 들려 양지 세야 니와지고 다 당서 치치든지 배 시치보들이 점점 가지고 매워서 저도 야향 세야 니와 용거 막 니와 망어서 용화 틀고 그래서 또 저도 같이 시고 던지네 세마도 등가도 리가 니사가 네 코랑 매워서 그러고 있는데 초심이야지 노박 노용 노비 또 길지 다 뛰어나 세다는 뭐지 sama 뭔가 보는 그게 당겨졌는데 그러고 그런가 남는 것도 리더 직발 그 중앙시나 그런 거는 지금 내 땅으로 자동으로 뭐고 한테 요한테 오고 그러지
Um, yes, that's that's right. Um, the in desire realm, in desire realm, the when being exists in the desire realm, and having the desire mind or attachments mind, as long as we able to contain and by using our the intellectual mind and so on and so forth, I think it will be fine. The problem is the we never satisfy, and we always wanting more, and the as I mentioned before, the very whenever we have a contact and the attractive toward the attractiveness or the attractive objects, and the of course, like if you see and understand it as object attractive objects, it is fine. The problem is that then we wish to have this in my life, and own that in my life, and have a kind of self owners, and we have a sense of self owners and so on and so forth. And But anyway, it broadly, when you look in the our world, and so many things happens or happening, and for example, there's the if you talk about the war, of course, this is the war is really begin with the individual that's very desired attachments, wanting more, and wanting more land, and the owners and the authority and so on and so forth. So that's why we have a conflict or war, and having a war, the war will not become a bigger war, nor it become a small war. It will remain same. And but because of our attachment and desire, and this all happens, and at the end, for example, the war began by individuals who thinking that I will conquer the whole world, and if he or she do that, then other country not going to stay there, right? And they will fight and defend their land or defend their country. And if you do that, then eventually everyone's not happy. Some may happy, but most of people not happy, and experience tremendous suffering having this kind of conflict or war. And so this is one of the example, because of the desire and attachments. And the second example, in our world, because of the rich people or the rich company, and sometimes we see that they go to the place and try to find the resource or the treasure, and they dig the ground and disturb the ground and they take everything, the resource or the treasure, whatever is hidden under the ground, and then eventually we have a natural disaster because of that. And these things happening a long time ago in ancient time, of course, people do, but because of the lack of equipment, people may use their hand or small equipments, and they have plenty time that land to be nourished again. But now, because of the equipment that right now we have, and when they use that equipment and the land doesn't have a time to nourish itself, and that's why we see the imbalance environments, so many things happening. So all this happens because of the desire and attachments.
니 친구도 막 나와는 사실
All the rich people, their wish, they want to go to the moon when this world is refurbished.
Putting that concept of self-ownedness with desire helps a lot.
Mhm.
Balancing.
The also the Suzuki 다다지 다도 진행이죠. 딘데이야 네 also 도착을 펜토게로 도시.
진짜 나도 나랑 높이 칸을 때는데 그런 거 있잖아. 추차지 그러더라. 텔라지 비춘도 요거 땅 더이나 대 셰르프 조땅 지지나 나랑 텔라 양 배추요 그래서. 대매와진 철점 마터이나 팅요다는 거였어.
Yeah.
그런
Yes. If we, of course, we have a right to enjoy pleasures and enjoy the whatever we can have, we can own, whatever you like, and with the great understanding of the things and event by using our intellectual mind and wisdom. In a way, we can properly or mindfulnessly we can use that objects and so forth. Otherwise, if because of the lack of mindfulness and the lack of the wisdom and intellectual mind, and then we due to the desired attachments, we often fail to achieve the happiness.
스윙 걸 이제 토이나 나라도 직접 대화요는 밤하게 그 세워들 도시도 세워 냠된 거거든. 그거 주실로 한동 거. 스윙 걸라 맞죠. 나 집고 왔지. 나 집고 삼아서 인용받던 거.
If I give you example, if we turn that very desire into the love and compassions, then it will kind of become equanimity. It will benefit in furthers. For example, like parents, father and mother, of course, they have a desire and attachment, but not only have a desire and attachment, plus they have compassion, love toward their children's. That is how it's work. Having both desire and the compassions, in a way we can able to maintain the existence of the happy life and so forth. Otherwise, just having merely desire, attachment, and not have a compassion and wisdom, then destruction is there. And because they think like only me and my benefiting only oneself.
같이 당신 친구들 간에 당보드는가 네 뜨니 마트니 낭미 뜨니 마스가 타마타마 소소가세 nga세 타마타마 특성가데 자니 수는 가데 거요르즈나데 갈레호라고 말세 자다세.
And very interesting, of course, it begins with the I, and then my, and then my family, and so on and so forth. But when we look at where it's really I is come from, where it is really located, I think none of us will find I where it's located. It's come from.
Yeah, 안도 맞죠. Okay.
Okay, so now.
야, 지금 펜토는 배치 당첨도 못했어.
I'll stop here. And what I said is, if it is useful, please you take it. If not useful, then forget it. Now, we'll say the dedications on page number 80. Yes, JC, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe, and thank you, Temple. If you would like to make a donation for this teaching, you may do that by calling 812-336-6807 or by emailing the center at tmbcc.kcl@gmail.com. Those of you here in the center, if you'd like to make a donation, it would be greatly appreciated by the monks in the monastery, or you may just say a prayer into the bowl.
To become moment.
Thank you.
Lo me ma re ye don do wa nam de ya we wo bo da ju ji de ma zon de ce ro gon do Jang de yang jin zi wei jin song de dang bi ba kun ca lang jin zhou ye ne zhe bi ya na nie xie shou 当年这是多别浪间呢，学着这别张为他给见，着为也也门把三千。Yahweh Dhamma Yuran Zenjoje Dhamma Renchen Choye Macho Cha Jan Yan Ver Jur We Cho Yang jie chen bo ye ra chou pa ye an de gan de sa wer che par shou se je ya we me zhong ten la ru zhang jiu lang jie ren wei zhang tan du nam jie ye la pa de shan ya wei zhang ba rang du zhong zhi Lam zang de be tun jian zhu qian ga jian se xie me da me me ce re gong du ya wei ma ma yi Nam da de wer ma zhi kan zi tian ba chou la so shen ro la zong ba de yin te de nan ji da de zhuo xie zhang zhao xie yang zong qiu geng chao ju ru ji bao dian za wei la ma ren bo ji da so yin wer ba mi dian xiu la ka ren chen bo guo ne ji song de guo song de ji wu zhou zang de so chang qiu shen qiu ren bo ji ma ji ba na ji 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 wa niang ba me bar yang gong ni gong de pe wer xiu kang re ra wei gu wei shen gang de ban dang de wa ma li qiong wei ne qian li sen wa ten zhen yang zu yin xia bei sen de bar de ten zhi ji jiang ba ba wo jie de re qian ba dang gong de sang bo de yang de shen de de da guan jie ji se da le jiang ye wa de da tam jie ran de mo de song sha bin ya wa tam jie ji wa gang lan qiu de nga ba de da shen yi wei za wa de gong jiang sang bo zhe zhe ram de ngo er ji pan de zhong li dan ba de shang ji天真见我当见我刚上，日见光老得见中为年，三界单把当得解决了解，才让更多让我总光明。当初新年我是这边的，要为俺别老早的年龄。大街上样多不儿嘛就是。他怎么把这个东西吃了？
You have something in the kitchen?
Yes, we have some snacks in the kitchen. If you would like to join us.
Who brought?
Who brought, I brought something. Faye, Teresa, people brought it. Yeah, so please join us in the kitchen.